shit.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are working on free candy, and we are going to find out today if this has a bent valve or if that motor is going in free candy. So we know we have 0 psi on cylinder 5 over here on the driver's side. So we're going to go underneath. First thing you want to do when you pull the head is you want to make sure that the block is completely free of any antifreeze. So we're going to pull the plugs at the bottom of this motor. So I'm going to go underneath, show you where the plugs are at. It's a simple 9/16 socket, and they're usually pretty tight. So let me go under, show you where they're at, and how to drain the block completely. So here we are on the driver's side. You can see we got the oil filter right here. Now we have a 9/16 bolt right here. We have one on each side, and this is the very bottom of the motor. So, and I already loosened this up, so we're just going to crank it out by hand, and we're going to let this drain, and then our motor will be free and clear of any fluid. Usually you have to stab this with a screwdriver or something, but I've already done that not too long ago, about 200 miles ago, so we're in pretty good shape. So we're going to do both sides and continue on. Okay, as you can see, I got both of these out, got them all cleaned up, gave them a quick rebuild with the wire wheel, and before we throw these back in, we're going to throw a little bit of this thread sealant on there. I don't know if you need to do it or not, but I know it's not going to hurt. So, before we get to this though, we're going to get over here to the shitty part, and I think we're going to pull the header off of the driver's side. So, let me get to that. Alright, well, as you can see, we got the carb off. As far as the intake goes, I mean, really, I got a heater hose line up there. I got the temp sender right there. And then just all the 9/16 nuts and this distributor. And I am going to move the motor to top dead center. And ideally, that will be pointing right there tomorrow. So, it's late, it's around midnight. I got to work tomorrow, so calling it a night. Alright. So I just went underneath. I used my bore scope. I put the motor to top dead center. This is basically straight. Feel a little better if it was pointed that way. But that has nothing to do with me not getting compression. So we're going to deal with the timing later. Not that I've ever dealt with timing. So for my purposes, I'm going to get a marker. I'm just going to mark this little line so I can line this shit back up. I know that this is straight. I'm still going to throw some tape over it just so that this doesn't move. And we're going to pull a distributor. Alright, so from the back of the motor, looking down here, not sure how well you're going to be able to see. You're not. But it's pretty much clocked at pretty much 12 o'clock. So I'm going to need to remember that, just in case that moves. With the distributor out, I'm just going to rip through. I already went through and kind of untorqued all these bolts. Not that they were even tight. I mean, this motor only has 200 miles on it. So I'm going to set you guys up, and we're going to go through and we're going to pull all these bolts. I think they're all the same. I don't know if they're any different lengths. I mean, there's only 12, but I guess we're going to find out.
You can see the riding on the pavement. Young kids, they're growing up in basements. Online, a whole new generation. I'ma make mine, so you better go take it.
Alright, they look the same, so let's get these bolts out of the way and pop the top. I don't know what I'm looking at, but doesn't look bad. I'll give it that. Alright, I got all the bolts loose, and mostly for my purposes, the rear one and the front one are short. The rest are all the same length. The ones on the outside, they're all the same length. So I'm going to pop this off. I am really hoping there's something obvious with the valve. If it's not the valve, it's obviously the cylinder. And if it's the cylinder, then we're going that route right over there, because motor's got to come out anyway. So let me get this off. We'll take it over to the bench and see what we're dealing with. Well, there's cylinder number 5, and it looks fine. Like, it looks just like the rest of them. Don't mind like the little speck of dirt or whatever that the camera picks up. But yeah, this seems sealed. Head gasket, you know, it was a little bit loose right here, but I still should have got some sort of compression. Like, this could have just flaked off. You know, I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a leak down test. I'm going to fill this with like, I don't know, like fucking gas or something and see if it leaks out. I'll fill all of them. Screw it. And we'll test it from there. As far as the cylinder goes, not sure how well you can see. Probably not well. I'm not exactly at dead top center, but this piston is, you know, up near the top. I don't see anything obvious, so I'm going to rotate the motor, and we're going to look down the cylinder wall. Well, looking at the underside of the gasket, there's nothing obvious there. I don't see how this was a head gasket leak, but that's what I'm going with. I mean, this cylinder is fine. Like I said, I probably, I don't even remember if I recorded it. I'm so frazzled, but if we look down in here, this cylinder's like glass, and I had 0. Over here, this one I had 150, and this cylinder honestly looks better. Like, there's, you know, nothing wrong with this cylinder. I'm not sure how well the camera picks it up, but besides a little bit of gasketing material that fell down there that I'll vacuum out, I'm going to go through and guess I'm going to clean all this up. Here I was just about to wrap up this video, and worst case scenario, I just went through, I put all new springs on my heads, because I bought those, and I put all new oil keepers, and I'm going through, and I just happened to look, so look inside, nice and dry. Yeah, nice and dry. What the shit? Yeah, that's not good. And nice and dry. So, is that a burnt valve? I don't know. Let's take a look at it. Alright, so what I did was I pulled the exhaust valve here out of cylinder 5 and swapped it with cylinder 7. So, they pretty much look the same. You can see it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it. So, I'm going to throw that valve back into cylinder 5. If we have compression in cylinder 5 now, and none in 7, then we know for certain that it's a valve problem, but I don't think it is. The valves are seated quite well, as you can see under there. Or you probably can't, but it's fine. So, let me get this going and see where we end up. Alright guys, realized I haven't been recording, so as you can see, I put the head back on, starting to tighten up all the bolts, and just cleaning them all up, throwing a little thread sealer on them as I run them down. What I did do, I did change out the valves in cylinder 5, swapped them with 7, and also I changed out the lifters. So if cylinder 7 has a problem, then it's, well, I know it's not going to be the lifters because they looked fine. It's going to be the valves themselves, which they looked absolutely fine too. So let me get this all in. I'm going to torque her all down in 3 steps. I'm doing like 25, 45, and then 65. There is a certain pattern that I'm going to have to print out because I don't know it. So let me go over here, throw some salt and pepper back on, and get to work. All right, we got her all torqued down. So if you're old like me, 25 is really easy. At 45, your wrist hurts, and at 65, your shoulder hurts. But she's all torqued down. Next up, maybe I'll do a smoke test. My buddy gave me a little smoke machine to throw in here. See if we have any leaks. So as you can see, I went through and I slapped on the whole valve train, and we're going to give this a shot. So, if I have compression in cylinder 5, well, 1, that'll be fantastic. 2, I'm going to need it in 7. So, I'm already plugged into 5. Please, needle move. Oh, shit.
Do not come. Do not come.
Oh, shit. All right, let's try 7. So it could have just been a head gasket this whole time. If 7 has compression, we are good to go. All right, let's give her a shot. Oh, baby. In case you're curious, I did wrap a glove around the fuel line, which it did fill up. Thank God. So needless to say, it is Miller time. We are good to go. I just went through. I tightened up all the rockers. They seem pretty good where they're at. I'd be an idiot not to pull this head and do the springs in it since I have the springs, and maybe the gasket's on its way out, and that's why it's only at 80 psi. So all that shit I'm going to do off camera. The next video you see is going to be hopefully me turning the key and actually backing it under its own power out of this garage. So that'll do it, guys. Don't forget to share, subscribe, all that stuff that the successful YouTubers tell you to do. And we're going to be jumping back on this in the next video. So thanks for watching, and don't forget, get off the couch and get in the garage. Remember a couple videos back, I had cylinder 6 with 80 psi? Think I found the problem.